Chocolate. We love it. It's one of the world's most popular treats. In the UK alone, we each eat an average of around 3 bars a week. But you don't have to look too far before you find the chocolate industry itself is far from sweet. Many farmers who grow the cocoa for our treats are underpaid and exploited. That means they can't earn enough for the basic human rights many of us take for granted, including food, education, and housing. So how can we stop chocolate from leaving a bitter aftertaste? 60% of the world's cocoa comes from Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire. The main ingredient of chocolate, cocoa, grows on trees in pods. Growing cocoa is hard work and relies heavily on the weather. With changing weather patterns, cocoa farmers face more uncertainty as crops are more at risk of rain damage or disease. Cocoa is big business. In the UK alone, the chocolate industry is worth £4 billion a year. But cocoa farmers are at the very end of the supply chain and see very little of cocoa's value. They have little control over how much they sell their cocoa for, with prices set far away. A typical cocoa farmer in Côte d'Ivoire lives on less than $1 a day. That's around 80p. Not enough to provide for the basics for a family. To make matters worse, in the past few years, the price of cocoa has plummeted, pushing many cocoa farmers further into poverty.
The cocoa prices are disastrous. When a farmer gets up in the morning, he's always worried. How will he be able to feed and care for his family? How can he send his children to school?
Fairtrade has helped. For Fairtrade cocoa farmers like Abrotier, when the price of cocoa drops, it can't drop below the Fairtrade minimum price, which acts as a safety net. On top of this, for every ton of cocoa sold on Fairtrade terms, the farmer organisation, the cooperative, receives an additional sum, the Fairtrade premium, to invest in their business and their community as they see fit. This might mean investing money in a school, health centre, or clean drinking water.
I've seen that Fairtrade has helped us a lot in cocoa farming. The Fairtrade premium has enabled us to do many things. It has enabled us to advance our children's education, and also we use the Fairtrade premium to build for the future.
Using Fairtrade premium, Kayat have built nursery schools and rebuilt damaged school buildings so that young children can attend school safely and their mothers can go to work. They have installed a water pump for access to clean water and have invested in large warehouses and a number of trucks so that they can store and transport their cocoa beans efficiently. Working together in a cooperative also means farmers can share knowledge and access training.
Certification avec les formations de la bonne pratique agricole.
Since getting Fairtrade certification and training in good agricultural practices, I can see that it has greatly increased my production.
Rosine is also the secretary of the Women's Society at Kayat. Women in West Africa often have less access than men to land and credit, and are often underrepresented in farmers' organisations, public meetings, and leadership roles in communities.
Pour avoir aussi plus de femmes.
At the moment, there are lots of women who don't realise that they have a voice, don't feel empowered or know that they can be at the forefront of something. There are lots of women who have not understood this yet.
Years of studies have shown that when women have access to their own independent income, the rate of development for the whole community increases. Anne-Marie works to empower cocoa farmers across West Africa.
The women wake up early in the morning before the whole family, before everybody. Around 4:30, they are awake. Then cook food for the whole family, send children to school, take their machetes and their staff to the farm, go and work hard on the farm, come in the house, cook the dinner for the whole family, and they sleep. They are the last person to go on bed. Wake up early in the morning before everybody and sleep after everybody. This is the reason why they deserve also more attention because they know more than the rest.
Thanks to consumers choosing Fairtrade chocolate, many cocoa farmers have been able to make a real difference in their communities. But the sad truth is that certification alone is not enough to transform a global industry on this scale. Not all Fairtrade certified farmers are able to sell all of their crop on Fairtrade terms. We can help to change this by choosing Fairtrade and showing retailers that farmers deserve a fairer deal. Farmers deserve the basic human right of a living income, enough to cover a decent standard of living. In Côte d'Ivoire, a living income that will cover food, health, education, a decent home, and safe water is estimated to be $2.50 a day for each person in the household. Just under £2. This would be the price of a large bar of chocolate. And yet most farmers get far less than this.
If the situation does not change, I think people will stop cocoa farming because the incomes are too low. People are going to grow other crops, such as palm oil. I do not want to be mean or alarmist, but we have to acknowledge that young people do not want to be cocoa farmers anymore because it is not profitable.
Fairtrade is working towards a living income for farmers.
Over the next few years, Fairtrade are going to be working really hard with chocolate brands, with retailers and with government. And we're aiming to seek consensus that a living income for cocoa farmers and their families is what everybody wants to achieve. But this is going to be hard, and we're only going to be able to do it if the people who love to eat chocolate in the UK join in as well.
There are traders, chocolate manufacturers, and retailers in the chain who all take a share of the price paid for a finished product. Most recognise that farmers' incomes are too low for cocoa to be sustainable the way the industry currently works, and are keen to address this.
If we want to move to a truly sustainable cocoa sector, then we have to be putting and measuring the household income of cocoa farmers at the heart of projects. That's exactly what Fairtrade is doing, and it's what everybody else should be doing.
When you choose Fairtrade, you are showing retailers that you want the farmers at the other end of the supply chain to get a living income. We will be working hard to transform the chocolate industry to make this happen. Together, let's make living incomes a reality for cocoa farmers.